look at these beauties. I'm having a really good tomato season. But I'm not dealing with tomatoes right now. What I want to do today, I'm here in the polytunnel. It's tail end of August and I want to get some more potatoes in. So we've already had 3 of these tubs of my potatoes that I've been growing, and we've absolutely loved them. There's still 3 tubs with potatoes in. The foliage has all died back now, but I tend to leave mine in the tubs and harvest them as and when I need them. They've been absolutely delicious. But what I want to do now is get my potatoes in that I'm going to enjoy for some of the months coming up to Christmas, my Christmas potatoes, and a little bit beyond. And you know, if you're clever, you can actually be harvesting potatoes all year round, and they're such a staple part of our diet that for me, I love to be able to do that. Now I'm really lucky because I've got the polytunnel, and that's one of the reasons I can keep my growing season going and extend it either end, so that I pretty much got food growing and I can be harvesting all year round. And that was one of the things that really attracted me to having a polytunnel. And you know, if I'm absolutely honest, if I had my absolute ultimate gardening wish, I would only grow in a polytunnel. I would have a couple of really big industrial sized polys and I'd grow everything in them, because I know, you know, we tend to think of polytunnels for sort of tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers, but for me, I've got my carrots here, I grow my potatoes, beans, my chard. In fact, my first season growing, before we started getting the beds going, I grew everything in here, and that's what I'd do if I could. But I can't, so I have to make the best of what I've got. So I'm growing in tubs again, and the advantage this time of the tubs, as well as being portable, is that I will start them off outside, but at the first sign of any frost or those temperatures dropping, they'll come in here into the polytunnel, and then I can also fleece them over if I need to when the temperatures drop. So enough waffling. What I've got, so what you need if you're thinking of having some Christmas potatoes are what we call second cropping potatoes, and I've gone for these. They're Maris Peer. So not Maris Piper, but Maris Peer, P-E-E-R. So I've got 6 of these tubs, but as I say, 3 of them have already still got potatoes in them. So I've got 3 tubs, so I can put 3 in one and 2 in each of the others. Am I doing my maths? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, that's 7. So I'm just doing the 3 tubs of these. Had I already emptied all the other tubs, I'd probably put 2 in one and 1 in each of the others, but I've got the 3 spare tubs. I could scrat around and find some more, but hey, frankly, I haven't got the time or the inclination. And I've gone for these Maris Peer because they're a really nice versatile potato. So again, I tend not to go with a whole load of varieties. You'll have seen with my last harvest, I didn't. I just chose one variety, and you know, for everything that mashing, boiling, chipping, whatever you want to do with them. So these are a really nice versatile variety. So let's get on. So as I say, I've got my buckets and I've got a little bit of compost in the bottom. Let's get this packet open. Ooh, they're trying to grow out of the packet. I may need some scissors for this, or can I rip it? There they are, looking like little aliens. So they're more than ready to go in. So there should be 7 in there. And they're actually growing their way through the packet. So, ooh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. In fact, there are 7. There they are. So I can do a 2, a 2 and a 3. So we'll start off with the 3. So that's 3 in. And then I'm going to cover them up with compost all the way up to the top. And these are 20 litre tubs. So So I'm just going to the line at the moment because I've got 2 more tubs to do, and I have got some more compost I can crack open, but let's see how we go, and then I can always put a bit more in at the end. So that's 1 done. Let's get the next 2 done. So I've just topped them up with some more compost. I'm just breaking up the lumps because it's a bit clumpy in the bag. So I've topped those up. This one probably do a little bit more. I'm going to just take the clumps across from this one. There we go. No more clumps. And of course it will settle a little bit, so they just need a good water, and I'm going to start them off outside where the others are. I'm not labelling them, I know what they are, same as when I did the others, which were Colleen. I knew I'd got 6 tubs of Colleen, I knew they'd all been put in at the same time. I now know I've got 3 tubs of Maris Peer, and it's easy to identify which ones are which, so I don't need to label them. So I'm going to get those outside. It's actually raining. I will give them a little water, but it's raining as well, so they'll get a nice double dose. So I stupidly left a hat, a jumper and a jute bag out in the rain. So I'd left them on the table, the yellow table that's behind you. You all know where it is if you follow me and you've watched previous videos. So I popped it out because it was dry when I came out, and while I was in the polytunnel, it wasn't until I came out to take one of those tubs out I realised the rain was soaking everything. So yeah, soggy hat, soggy jumper and a soggy bag. They'll soon dry, and actually one of the advantages of the polytunnel is if ever we want to dry things quickly, we do actually hang them up in there. So even on a rainy day with the heat, things tend to dry quite quickly. So I'm steaming up. Let me just unsteam myself. So it's been a bit interchangeable, and it's been feeling decidedly autumnal. And we've had temperatures kind of going down to 6 or 7 at night, and hovering around 10 or 11, and that's external temperatures during the day over the last few days. So as I say, it's coming up to the end of August, but it's starting to feel really, really autumnal, which I don't have a problem with because I absolutely love the autumn. So I know that for many, autumn signifies harvesting, but also the end of the growing season coming. But because I keep things going all year round, for me it's a continuous circle, and I never feel sad. I just feel happy that the more harvests are coming in, I'm giving thanks for my harvests, and also enjoying putting, like we've just put the potatoes in, I'll probably get some more carrots in. There's lots that we can be sowing and growing through the autumn into the winter, and even foods that'll keep us going in that traditional hungry gap in the spring. There'll still be stuff in the outside beds and also things in the polytunnel.
My parents came over on the train and we met them in Wrexham, and one of our favourite places to meet and hang out is the museum in Wrexham. It's absolutely lovely, and they've got a gorgeous cafe with some really nice food. So we hung out there for a bit and we had a pootle around the museum. We had some lovely lunch and a good old catch up, and then we pootled off and had a little look round a couple of charity shops before heading back to the train station for a cup of coffee and some snacks, and then we waved them off on the train.
coming this morning. He was out a couple of weeks ago to do Sunny's feet, and he's coming today to do Garth. Garth has shoes, so he'll need them taking off and his feet trimming, and either the same shoes putting back on, which is most likely, so they're refits, or he'll need some new shoes. But I don't think they're worn down enough to need new. I've got a box of eggs here and 6 tomatoes because I like to be able to give something. I'm also still having my morning coffee, and I've got my diary ready so that we can book up the next appointment. And then I've just got this bucket of water here to take round because you'll need that to put the shoes in when they're hot, because he hot shoes. So let's put this water down and get things ready. So Garth's had his feet done and he's back out in the field with fish. Pony's still in his little piggy pen. He's getting fed haylage twice a day now. The sheep are settled. Victor's had some breakfast and the sheep are fine, as is Kaylee. I've just got myself a cup of coffee here, and I thought I'd just have a little catch up because I'm aware that I used to do my monthly ponderings from the polytunnel, and since I've changed the format of the way that I'm putting my videos together, I haven't been doing that because the ponderings was very much about what had been happening, and now I've put the format together the way I have. You can see what's going on. But what I haven't been talking about so much are places, you know, like going to the theatre or books I'm reading, that kind of thing. So I'm still reading the Ellie Griffiths series, the Dr. Ruth Galloway mysteries. I think this is book 11 now, and they're absolutely brilliant. So I am about, where am I at? So I might be horrifying some of you. Who uses a bookmark and who dog ears the corners? Oh, I do dog ear, I'm afraid. So yeah, I've got a good way through, really enjoying it. Highly recommend this series. I have said that before. And then my go-to book every month is my lovely almanac, and of course it was specific to 2023, and I had it as a gift, but I'll definitely be looking out for another one for 2024. It's such a lovely book. Just, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So we have a little flip. What have we got going on? So we've got September at a glance, and I just love it because it's we've got garden countryside, and quite correctly the garden and countryside are full of fruits and seed heads. So I'm looking at September. By the time you watch this video it will be September, but it's actually the 31st of August, so it's September tomorrow. And as I mentioned when I was, I think, sitting in the shed the other day, I just love this time of year, and it's feeling so autumnal, and I can't wait to be putting on woolly hats and scarves and, you know, crispy mornings. Oh, you just can't beat it. So yeah, you know, I've noticed hazelnuts on the hazel trees, and I've seen the hawthorns coming. So we're really coming into that beautiful autumn time. So we've got a little bit about the sky, the autumn equinox, and then the sunrises, sunsets, the sea, the moon, gardening by the moon. I know a few of you out there are interested in that. I know Jane's interested in lunar gardening. And then, you know, what to do in our garden. I won't sit and bore you with it. There's always some recipes. I just love this little book. So I've been busy this morning, and I'm just going to have a kind of 11's coffee break, and I like to have a little flip through this book. And the other thing that I've got, and I really wanted to share this because I'm super proud of her, so Kitchen Garden magazine, which is a really lovely magazine if you grow your own. I can recommend it. But who is on the front cover but our very own Jane Kelly? So check her out. It's a beautiful article. I had already posted it out on social media, so on my Instagram and Facebook pages, so you may have seen it. But it's an absolutely lovely article, and yeah, get yourself a copy if you haven't already got one. Let me just pick up. Oh, does it annoy you as much as it annoys me that you buy a magazine because you want a magazine? What I don't want is all this rubbish that comes with it. But there we are. That's modern living, I suppose. So I'm just going to kick back with my cup of coffee and do a little bit of reading before I push on with my day. So I hope that you're all well. I hope you're enjoying this new format of video. The comments I've been getting have been absolutely lovely, so thank you. I did do a little poll quite some time ago now, and the sort of overall feeling was that combined Rue's life was what people wanted. And it's, in all honesty, what I always set out to do with this channel was not just gardening, and then I kind of trundled down an avenue, but I just wanted this to be more of a lifestyle vlog, to really show all the aspects of my countryside small holding life, and also a little bit with the you know, working out of hours as out of hours veterinary nurse. So you know, it's all elements blended, and I'm really enjoying filming and sharing it with you. So once a week it'll be everything, and I'm going to continue in that vein because it seems to be, I'm enjoying doing it, and I think you're enjoying watching, so thank you so much. And talking of coffee, shameless plug, I'm not very good at this, but I really appreciate everybody who watches and everybody who subscribes, because it really helps the channel to grow. But if you'd like to support the channel further, you know, because I find this really difficult to do, but you know, buying camera equipment and bits and pieces. I had some camera equipment fail on me recently, and it's really frustrating, and I had to wait, you know, and sort of muddle along. So it really does help if anybody would like to buy me a coffee, and there's a link in the description below, and all that would go back into this channel, whether that is camera equipment, microphones, memory cards, that kind of thing. I broke a tripod recently. The wind blew it over. I actually broke this camera, and the flip out screen is hanging by a thread, so I am going to have to replace this camera at some point. And the other place I would spend it would be putting it back into seeds and bits and pieces that I need for growing. So yeah, I'm going to stop because I find it really difficult. But if anybody would like to buy me a virtual coffee, there's a link in the description below. And obviously there's absolutely no obligation whatsoever. I'm just super grateful that you all show up and pop your lovely comments and give me your thumbs ups and actually watch my content. It means the world to me. So please don't stop doing that. As I say, no obligation. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, that'd be great, but there's absolutely no obligation. So yeah, embarrassment over. I'm gonna sit and drink my real coffee and kick back with my magazine. Look